Hi. Thank you for being interested and curious about play and video games. I'm Mama Mavel, commonly known as Velma Gench, and I'm going to talk for maybe about 20 minutes right now about play listening and video games. So I've got a little presentation. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Share. So, video game play can connect your family. What we're going to cover, we're going to talk about the importance of play, some of the barriers to play, what is play listening, what we do to join them in their world, and the magic ingredient of lightening up. So, about me, I have a 13-year-old son, that's him, with my 2-year-old puppy, and he's almost 14. It's amazing. And I live in the country and I love Minecraft and I have a lot of animals, which is allowed in the country. And I'm a hand in hand parenting instructor. That's just a little bit about me. So, why play? Why is play important? Play is important for many reasons. It's just as important as tears and that kind of emotional release because laughter, play with laughter especially, is a stress relief. It's a way of building connection and it's a way of dissolving power struggles. So, did I spell dissolve wrong? Oops, I think I did. I think it has two S's. So, um, yeah, play is so effective at helping smooth out the rough edges in relationships with coworkers, with friends, with spouses, and especially with kids. So, because play and laughter, especially play with laughter, helps build connection, and children want connection. Children, even teenagers, want your approval, your love, and your attention. They want to play with you. They really do. They want to be on good terms and in good relationship. And play is one of the ways where we can help make that happen. And sometimes play is really hard. I know it's been one of the harder things for me to let myself do, especially with my kid as he's gotten older. It was pretty easy for me to play with him when he was little, but as he got older, like I got I don't know, like why was it hard to play? Well, parents have a lot of stress. We have a lot of time pressure. Sometimes there's baggage that from our childhood, like no one played with me. Like not many adults played with me. Like, and if you really want to like look into it, think about who played with you as a child and what was that play like, and see if there are any feelings or similarities that come up in how you relate to your kids now. Um, Another reason that it was hard for me to play, and this one especially got true as he got more and more into video games, and that was I'm just bad at it. I don't like being bad at things. I don't like failing. I don't like doing things that are super duper hard because there's enough things that are super duper hard. So that's another reason why it's hard to play video games in particular for a lot of people, especially moms. Um, Spoken from experience. And another thing is that sensory issues come up with play. Sometimes play can be really, really loud, and that can be hard for those of us who have like auditory censoring uh, sensitivities. And video games, especially, can trigger sensory issues. It can be very overwhelming for the eyes and for the senses because there's a lot going on in some of these games. So I'm just acknowledging that there are some reasons that are genuinely make it hard for us to play with our kids. And that's just to normalize the experience. Let's see. I want to make sure that I've got okay. What do we do when it's hard? Oh. The other reason play play listening and video games can be really hard is because we have a lot of baggage about video games in particular. So aren't video games bad for my kid? Maybe, but not necessarily. So something that helped me really begin to shift my mindset around video games was this paper by Amanda and Rachel through Carnegie Mellon. Um, and this is one small quote from it where the only difference between playing house and playing Minecraft is in the medium of play rather than the play itself. So their paper goes through a lot of um, the ways that video games in particular can be beneficial. And they cover and so video games can be good. Like we don't have to feel guilty about playing video games. We don't have to be super strict or judgmental about video games because video games can improve our mental health. They can improve our social health. They can develop us um, cognitively, and some even improve our physical health by getting us up and moving around, like Just Dance, which is really fun. So, disclaimer: yes, video games can be addictive. They can become a problem, and the beginning of the solution with screens when they are a problem is still connection. It's still the like joining our kids in the game. So like and there's a lot of other people who are really good at helping with video game addictions. I just want to like acknowledge that that is a thing and that is not the thing that we're talking about right now. What we're talking about today is normal kids doing normal play and normal play that happens to be video games, which is common for a lot of our kids. So video games can be good. They don't have to be bad. So they that can make it all right. So if you want some more information or to dig further into like ways that video games could be good, I have a free class called Game on Mom. It's on my website, mamamavel.com. If you scroll down, there it is. And that talks a lot about special time and video games and how to connect those two. The article that I quoted from a couple minutes ago is called Digital Playgrounds. And if you just search Digital Playgrounds Learning and Connecting Through Games, um, you'll be able to see what that is. And then the third thing that might give you just a little bit of more context from my perspective about why video games are good is what's so great about Minecraft. Anyway, and Wendy just joined us. I just want to welcome Wendy. Thank you. I'm going through some of the slides. I've covered why play is important because it builds connection, and what are the barriers to play. Um, we're often stressed. We have too much going on, and parents, I mean, and the other big one is in particular on video games is that video games have a lot of baggage for us. Like we're not good at them, or we're not supposed to enjoy them. We're not supposed to let our kids have them. So I've just talked about how video games can actually be okay. And here are some additional resources for how video games can be like a good thing for your kid and your family. So now we get to talk about okay, so what do we do if we have all of these ways that we want to play with our kids. Let's say we want to play with our kids, but we're still stressed. We're still having a hard time slowing down, dropping in, and like playing where there's laughter and lightness. So Patty Whipfler is the founder of Hand in Hand, and she's written some so many beautiful, amazing things. And um, this is what Patty said in a blog post. The link there is on the bottom. And it's to gather the patience to play and listen, we parents need help. We want to be patient, but we too have a load of stress to cope with. Ask a partner or a friend to listen to you while you talk about how things are for you as a parent. And if you're familiar with Hand in Hand, you're probably familiar with the tool listening time or listening partnerships. And that can be a really effective way to like go into and look at in a safe place, in a safe way, some of the challenges that you have about play. Like all of your fears about video games, or like how you didn't get to play as a kid, or how you don't get to play now. So, um, yeah, I'm just offering this up as a really effective tool. So, if you're still stressed, it's okay. You don't have to do it alone. You can get some help with that. So, what is play listening? In case you don't know, we're going to talk about that briefly. So, play listening is one of the 5 hand in hand parenting by connection tools. The 5 tools are stay listening, setting limits, special time, play listening, and listening partnerships. So, play listening in particular is play with your kid that is full of laughter, where you get to follow the giggle, or if they're older, maybe the smirk. Because you're like, teenagers don't necessarily giggle, but they may roll their eyes, or they may like, go like that, oh, mom kind of thing. And you get to let the kid lead. So we get to, and this one is key, taking the less powerful role. This one was hard for me. It was easy when he was little, and it was harder when he was like elementary school, and it's easier now. And it's easier now for me because most of the play is in video games, and I am naturally not very good at that. So he is naturally in the more powerful role. And after I learned to embrace that, it became a really fun, effective way to bring laughter to the play that my kid and I had, and strengthen our relationship. So, yeah. So, Wendy, do you want to say anything about play listening, or about what it is that you're working with on your kid, or tell me a little bit about yourself? Or do you want to wait till the end where we like have time for Q&A?
Mute. Yeah, sorry I joined late. I don't know. Did you guys all go around and talk about yourselves? I don't know how we can.
You're the only one who's joined, so it's you and me. And
oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I thought there were other people here. Oh, okay. Oh, I should put on my video then. I'm sorry. I thought maybe it was like a whole bunch of people. Here I am. Wait, do you No.
I am recording this, and I will be sharing it on my website.
So okay, maybe I will. Oh, good point. Okay.
Yeah. Just wanted.
Okay, so what to say? Well, in my house, there's a lot of interest in gaming. I would say my kids like it. My husband is really into it. I guess I'm more hesitant. I mean, there's a couple games I like, but for the most part, I just don't have the passion that everyone else does. So I like the idea of you embracing video games as something positive. And was wondering how to incorporate that, I guess, in a healthy way in our lives. I mean, we're also working on limit setting around video games, so that's part of it too, so everyone stays balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. It all of it goes together, like special time, setting limits, play listening. Like they all work together to help make the healthy dynamics in the family. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for showing up for you and your family. And there's a lot of really good stuff. So I would suggest checking out the free course that I have, that's Game on Mom, which talks a lot about special time, and I really go into like why video games can be a good thing. in that
Mm-hmm.
course. And then there's another webinar, free webinar, that is linked to at the bottom of my homepage, which is how to end screen time easily, which gets into talking the setting limits part.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So those are some additional resources that touch on some of the challenges or issues, opportunities
Mm-hmm.
that you have with your.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so this is so like today we're talking about play listening, and are
Mm-hmm.
you familiar with the hand-in-hand tools?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, definitely. No, I've done a lot of um hand in hand, and I have a listening partner and all of that. So um yeah, no, I definitely see the power in it for sure.
Sweet. Yes. So, um, yeah. So there's a lot we can do. So I'm going to go a little bit more into play listening, then I'll have some time for more discussion and Q&A at the end.
Great.
So the biggest barrier for me playing video games with my kid was how bad I was at it. And it took a little bit of me trying and failing and being very cranky about it all to realize that, oh, this is an opportunity for me to like do that growth mindset thing.
Mm.
And and learned to celebrate being bad at the game, like, and celebrate being a beginner and allowing myself to be a beginner. And as I did that, I began to embrace the playfulness of it. And when I lightened up on myself, my kid also lightened up on me, because I will say that, like, at the beginning when he and I were trying to play together, he was really frustrated with me by how bad I was. And it took a few times of me going, okay, just remember, I'm not very good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Please be patient with me. I'm trying, but like, I'm going to need your help. You're better at this than I am. Can you teach me and help me? And I've like that's the default now, and it's really fun. And I get on to play Minecraft with my kid and his friends on their server, and like all of them, this like
Mm-hmm.
group of 13-year-old kids, boys, are like helping me out and giving me all the things and reminding me how to do stuff. And like it feels good for me and it feels good for them. So like it's a less obvious way of play listening, but it's still like the essential of building connection and being light about it, and uh, embracing the less powerful role. So that said, and this is like true for everything that I say, and it's true for hand in hand's approach, is that there is no right way or wrong way to do this. There is only the way that works for you and your family. And I say this because some parents may have this idea that they have to get on and they have to be great, or they have to do it for like an hour, or they have to not do any video games at all ever. And like,
Mm.
there's a lot of shoulds that we carry about we should do this or we shouldn't do that. And what I want to encourage everybody is to let go of those and look at what is working for your family and your kids. And if that means that like your version of play is 5 minutes on Candy Crush with your kid, that's what works. If your version of play is watching them play and celebrating them, then that works. Like I just want to encourage people to start with where they are and let go of the judgments of themselves and their families.
Mm.
So eventually we get to the part where we ask, hey, can I play? And what happens, like, so here I want to kind of normalize and say, like, here's some of the things that could happen when you ask that question. Because play for video games isn't necessarily what we may think of. There's like the playing with the controller. That is play, but there are other parts that are also play that may not look like play. And one of them is watching VODs of other gamers or about their game. That
Oh
is,
yeah.
and they're learning.
Mhm.
Um, Asking questions about their game. Like being like, okay, now are there, say it's Minecraft, like, okay, so there are skeletons, and what do you call those again? And there are mobs. What does mob stand for? Like just like being curious and letting them be the expert. And um video games are great for that because they are the expert in their games. It's just the,
Mhm.
and then another way that kids often play together that just doesn't really make sense is they parallel play. They either like play different games side by side, or they one person plays and the other person watch and cheers them on. And this is or coaches them. So um my kid and one of his friends, my kid loves this game called Portal, and he got his friend into the game, and so his friend was streaming, like sharing his screen so my kid could watch him play, and my kid was cheering him on and giving him tips. So we can watch them play like that, or another way that we can play with them is for us to play and for them to coach us. So there's like playing in
Mm.
together, like, okay, we're doing Mario Kart. We both have our own controller and we're both going down the race. Or there's like, okay, I'm playing Portal, or I'm playing Minecraft, or I'm playing Hollow Knight. And like my kid is there helping me, going, oh, hey, did you see this? Or try this jump. Or I noticed you're doing this. And they're being the coach, they're being the teacher, they're being the expert. So that's another way to do that. So that's 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 the end of what I have to say. So I'm going to say thank you for watching, and I'm going to stop the recording, and then um, I'll have this ready to share. Stop the share, stop the recording.